Hello everyone. It's that time of year again. Creepypasta-Thon is back, and unfortunately this is the last year I will be doing this, but it is what it is. You guys have listened to my last podcast, you know all about that. But in case you haven't, I'm not going to go over it here. Instead, I'm just going to jump right in. We're going to get right into this. We're going to send this off with a bang, guys. So, you guys excited? I'm excited. Let's do this. Alright. So the first story for Creepypasta-Thon this year is called This Is Not a Drill. Now, I tried to look for who wrote this, or the author. I couldn't find them. Name, screen name, anything. So, if you guys know the author or know who wrote this, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. That'd be great. So this one starts off really intense. An urgent situation with a family scrambling to cover their windows and lock their doors, while a frantic news anchorman tells everyone that he'll be on the air the whole time and will try his best to keep everyone safe and informed on the situation. After a while, our main character, who's just a teenager trying to figure out what's going on, notices that the anchorman has been repeating the same thing over and over again. And after a while, he starts to intentionally mess his words up, almost as if he's trying to send a message or a warning of some sort. Our main character's mom gets a small glimpse of what's going on outside, and it basically makes her catatonic. As if that wasn't gruesome enough, the anchorman starts to melt. And it's described in such a grotesque way, and I'm not even going to begin to cover it. So, yeah, if you're eating while watching this, don't worry, you're okay. But I would not recommend eating while listening to this, on a side note. The next thing that happens is so bizarre, I actually had to rewind the video and listen to it again. Another news anchorman, who looks and sounds exactly like the one that just melted, takes his place and delivers a pretty creepy monologue of his own. The main character then sees what happened outside, which I will not spoil, but I will say it's quite an image to put in one's head. We never find out what exactly the mother saw or the meaning behind the creepy dialogue with the news anchorman. It just kind of fizzles out on a more of a somber or a, well, maybe not somber, but more of a darker note. This is a creepypasta that doesn't have a happy ending, which most of them don't. This creepypasta builds tension and suspense very well, but I feel the big ending kinda undoes a lot of what made this one so good. That being how it was being really ambiguous with what was going on. Not to say that the shock value was bad or terrible, I just kind of felt like it was better when we didn't know what was going on. Now, to the story's credit, they never do reveal the monster. They just give you little subtle hints, which I always like. I always felt like the more you could leave up to the mind with creepypasta stories, the better. The more you make the person listening to a recording of the story or reading it themselves, if you can, as much imagination as you can leave to their head, the better. At least I always thought. And in that regard, I think this creepypasta does that pretty well. It kind of made me think of the movie The Day After. You know, that movie where I think it's like Oklahoma, or it's like somewhere in the middle of America. They end up getting nuked, and it's literally the day after, like the day after the nuclear explosion kind of thing. At least if I'm remembering that movie correctly, I might not be remembering that one correctly. But this story definitely has some suspense and has a pretty decent build up. I would say the best part is all the way up to the end. It's not a bad creepypasta per se, it's just okay.